Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the bakery. Since I don't have the money to play Doom the Dark Ages for all of you, nor the storage to record the incredible in every way Oblivion Remaster, we're going to be playing the original version of Oblivion today. To see if I can, once again, beat a game as a lore-accurate cat. Now, I just want to say, I absolutely hate doing the same challenge in super similar games so close to each other. I mean, we just ran Skyrim with this exact same challenge concept like 2 weeks ago, for Christ's sake. I try really hard not to have this happen, but this was the most convenient of the challenge ideas I have in my backlog, and I won't lie to you guys, it's kind of just a filler video. A good filler video? That's for you to determine. A filler video nonetheless, however, as I wait for my friend to be ready for a project we've been cooking up. So the rules are really gonna just be the same as the Skyrim challenge we previously ran, meaning fists only as a Khajiit and no torso armor. However, in Oblivion, there are actually 5 armor slots instead of 4. The outfit armor slot is split between torso and greaves. I just wanted to tell you guys about that so I could say that we cannot use either of those slots. Boots, gauntlets, and helmets only. Healing magic is the only magic we're allowed. Think of it like we're cleaning ourselves. Otherwise, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. So here's us, we're a Garfield, and after doing some lore-accurate cat gameplay and getting the Emperor killed, we're out and about in the land of Cyrodiil. So the Emperor gave us his very special necklace that we gotta take to one of his stewards, so he can help us locate his secret kid, a product of a Gunnar lifestyle and 1 second too many spent in bliss. I trust you can fill in the blanks with my joke from there. For those of you who enjoy the technical aspect of the challenges, I created our own cat class that favors strength and speed for our light armor, athletic ability, and hand-to-hand. Those also being the 3 most important of our major skills that I selected. After beating on some homeless people to take their things, we make our way toward Wayne Priory because Boris specifically told us not to beat the homeless into a pulp. What a gorgeous building. I sure hope nothing bad happens to it. For now, though, we just gotta have a word with our main man Joffrey, the realest of real ones. He believes us immediately over our insane-sounding story, instead of the much more plausible explanation that we simply killed the Emperor and lifted the amulet off his body. So then, he proceeds to tell us exactly where Uriel Septim's last son is, despite the fact that we very easily could have been a Mythic Dawn cultist. Good thing we aren't. It's time for us to head to Kvatch, but, I always forget how early this mission is. It'd be super easy to head to this mission at, I don't know, level 1? Yes, that's what we are right now. So these homeless people really showed us just how dangerous fighting groups is. They absolutely melted our health bar. It was not fun. Luckily, however, we made it to Kvatch, or rather, I guess, unluckily, as Captain Matthias tells us that Martin is actually trapped in the temple behind quite literally a gate to hell. So what better for us to do than roleplay as Doom Guy for a few moments? This place is horrible. Fleshy pods, practically no damage to even the weakest of enemies, and Argent towers around yet again. I do have a question though. Can somebody in the comments explain to me in Fortnite terms how in Oblivion the Dremora soldiers are easier to kill than the scamps are? We kill them so much faster than the scamps. Thanks to whoever decides to explain it to me, I appreciate that. Other than all that, though, we simply pull this sigil stone from its socket and reenact that fateful day in Japan. With that, we charge into Kvatch and free the courtyard, finally reaching Martin, who tells us he's slowly losing his religion, until we tell him he's the Emperor's son and suddenly his faith is reinvigorated. So we take him to Wayne Priory. When we arrive, we're told the Mythic Dawn attacked. I just had to open my mouth and say something about hoping it stays nice up here. Luckily, the Mythic Dawn agents are easy to dispatch, and we get to speak with Joffrey, where we learn his numbnuts ass. Where we learn this numbnuts let them steal the amulet. Joffrey, you idiot. He tells us to take him and Martin to Cloud Ruler Temple, the quote-unquote hidden headquarters of the Blades, but you'll see why I say that with quotes in a moment. Can you spot the temple from this completely normal route tons of people take all the time? Hence the quotations. Anyway, we bring them up, get the big ol' special Emperor welcome, and finally have the peace of mind knowing Martin and Joffrey are safe, as well as ourselves being inducted as a blade. Joffrey tells us we should go back to the city to speak with Boris, as he'll know how to get the information we need to get the amulet back. First, however, now that Martin's safety has been secured, even though we don't have to do this, we're gonna finish liberating Kvatch. You technically don't need to finish that quest to continue the story, but we will anyway, because Garfield always chooses the greater good. Oh, that quest changed. So, Boris, how are you doing? Whoa. Why are we so much taller than you when we sit down? Anyway, Boris says this guy's gonna follow him, and lo and behold, he does, before revealing he is an agent of the Mythic Dawn. Now that that's taken care of, we grab this book off the agent and speak with Boris before he tells us to speak with Tarmina, a magician lady, to help us analyze the book. Hi, Tarmina. Have you seen her in the remake? Woo-wee! All I can say is, hear me out. She tells us she's gonna need books 3 and 4 as well to be able to fully analyze the text, so let's make our way to the city's bookstore to begin. Phintius tells us he has volume 3, but it's on special order for somebody. Sounds like we've got some extorting to do. And speak of the devil, as here's the little scamp now. He puts up a bit of a fight until we tell him the Emperor has been murdered by the Mythic Dawn. Then, ooh, he's positively shaken in his pantaloons. So much so, we get his book and a note on a meeting with a Mythic Dawn sponsor to obtain the 4th edition. Sewer time with the Barman. Funny story, in the remake I actually had a bug happen where he got launched into a wall by a rat and flew thousands of meters away from the sewer under the map until I reloaded a save. Speaking of rats, did you know rats are actually remarkably intelligent creatures capable of learning and can even be trained to do tricks? That kind of goes against the perception we've all grown about rats, huh? Additionally, rats can actually laugh, as they play and socialize with one another since they're highly social creatures. They can actually be heard, you know, quote-unquote talking and laughing with one another. Ready for another fact that really goes against the common conception about rats? They are actually incredibly clean animals. They spend a lot of their day cleaning themselves and maintaining an image, so much so that it's actually a sign of dominance to be the cleanest male of the nest. Though I still wouldn't advise touching some random rat you find, as they can absolutely harbor some nasty pathogens that'll really make you sick. Finally, a group of rats is called a mischief because they're always causing trouble. I thought that was funny. While rats thrive all throughout human habitation, a lot of animals are hurt because of it. So if you're feeling generous, please consider using the link in the description to donate to the World Wildlife Fund and help keep endangered wildlife around. Anyway, now that all the animal cookies have been eaten, we got the book, and thank Talos, Boris survived. I don't know what I would have done without him. Now let's go see Tarmina, where after a couple of days, she finally has the puzzle figured out, and it reveals a secret for us to go confirm. It's true! By the 9, it's true! A map showing us where the Mythic Dawn hideout lies, meaning we know just where to go tomorrow when it's time to record. So, recording 2, what are we doing? Oh yeah, here's the Mythic Dawn hideout. We gotta camouflage ourselves as a Mythic Dawn member. However, that would require us to wear their robes. So, looks like we're moving on to plan B. Shh. I'm hunting agents of Maywoon's Dagon. Seriously though, we need to be really careful moving through here. These guys are starting to hit really hard. Man, we really need some repair hammer. Here's the statue we had to reach, and do you see them down there? Plotting, scheming, conspiring. That's that guy we needed to find. I forgot his name, but we need him. Now to figure out how to get him, because obviously running in there fists blazing is not the way to go. Oh, he escaped into his own paradise full of 40 virgin wives and kingdoms as far as the eye can see. I'm just gonna assume you understood that reference. Little does he know we're a good old follower of Christ, and his light shows us the book we need. So we grab it, and through our cat-like agility, we receive one too many shocks to our dome. Then we make our hasty escape. After we take a stand and fight for our freedom from these fellas, we finally get to give Martin the book he needed, where he is incredibly shocked and upset by that news. But he gives us a new quest, one to take care of some spies spies around Bruma. Before we kill these spies, though, we need to grab some repair hammers. Our gloves have been busted for a long time now. This is Captain Bird, just like a special little bird that I've been cooking something up with for months now. Bird, if you're watching this, we gotta get that done, gang. He gives us some information about the spies. By some information, I literally only mean the name of somebody who, after some B&E, would you look at that, turns out to be a spy. Hey, a mastery level in our unarmed. Now we can disarm people. This guard is an absolute hero for doing this. After he's done helping us, we grab the basement key off this agent and head into Jiral's basement, where there's some Mythic Dawn plans and an entrance to the Bruma Caverns. Let's tell Joffrey. Martin tells us he's gonna need a Daedric artifact, and unfortunately for us, I forgot to grab one. Luckily, Azura's shrine is only a hop and a skip away. Hey Azura. Raw, next question. Oh yeah, we need some glow dust. Hey Azura. She says for her special starfish, we gotta kill 5 of her followers who have been infected with porphyric hemophilia, essentially Oblivion's vampirism. Ow, they hurt really bad. Regardless, however, there's one. I said one. Man, I don't know if we can do this. Alright, let's just do Molag Balls instead. Molag Ball just requires oh, okay, never mind. We aren't even a high enough level for it. Here's our next attempt for a Daedric artifact, Sheogorath. I already grabbed our lettuce, lesser soul gem, and yarn. Hopefully the mad god will come through for us. I won't lie, I feel really bad about stealing the special prized cheese from our fellow Khajiit, but you know how it is, you can't fight against your race's nature. With the cheese we stole, we draw some rats out to symbolize the first sign of these people's demise. Because I didn't mention it, but the whole point of this quest is faking signs of the apocalypse for these people. It's kinda whack. I hate doing this quest. It makes me feel like a horrible person. Regardless, our next step is to grab the priest's moon sugar and feed it to these sheep. Sheogorath, I hate you. After they finally drop dead, the town is evacuated. Sheogorath, you are a sick bastard, you know that? At least we have our Daedric artifact. Back to Martin. After handing him our long and hard wabbajack, he tells us it's time to recover the chest piece of Tiber Septum, just so he could scrape his blood from it and utilize it because he has the blood of a god. This sounds hot and heavy, so let's sleep on it first. After waking up, Joffrey tells us there's more pressing matters and we need to show the Bruma guard how to close an Oblivion gate. So we just fight our way through hell, and just like that, that's how it's done. You might want to close your eyes for this part. Now that that's over, let's make our way to the old Septum tomb to retrieve that armor. Uh-oh. I don't think we've hit the mastery level to interact with ghosts. Oh, okay, never mind. I guess our fists are ethereal enough to smack the ever-loving Christ out of them. There, all the blade spirits have been freed and we can finally retrieve the armor of Tiber Septum himself. That wasn't too bad. Okay, Martin, what's next? A great welkin stone. Yeah, I was a little bit afraid of this part. If I remember right, there's a lich that spawns no matter what. However, we can just grab the stone and run away. Hopefully. Here's Miskercand. This is rumored to be the only place in all of Cyrodiil to still have a great welkin stone. There's a lot of goblins here, and like, they aren't that bad to fight, they just have a lot of health for some reason. Before too long though, we've grabbed the stone, and there's that lich, and a very hard door lock. Those aren't enough to stop us though, and we escape, taking the third of the puzzle pieces back to Martin. Now it's time for the real mission I've been worried about. Unfortunately, we need to open a great gate and grab the great sigil stone from inside. After Martin's speech, this requires us to stay alive for I think 3 minutes, and grab the stone before the big bad hell machine thing makes it through the gate. And let me just say, it is a good thing we didn't have anybody to chaperone this time, because that meant we were able to just run through the whole thing straight to the stone and grab it. Which means we now have every piece of the puzzle, and we're on the second to last mission. Already? I know. That was fast, huh? Remember how that guy earlier fled into his paradise space castle thing? Can you guess where we're going? This is Mr. Cameron's paradise. Definitely a little more than strange, considering the guy is essentially a Satan-worshipping cult leader. Are you sensing the Christian parallels in the game yet? Contrary to my expectation, this was easily the most difficult part of the entire run. Look how scared I was with this victory. Anyway, now we need to pretend to be a slave for a bit at the hands of somebody who's come to his senses and regrets hurting all those people. So it is possible for people to change, and despite having different opinions than me, I love him all the same. Keep that in mind next presidential election, people. After being lowered to trick a Dremora into leaving, we're left to venture into the cave and find Eldamil, or whatever his name was, at the end. By venture into this cave, I mean quite literally a single room before finding him and getting our bands removed. Then all we gotta do is beat these couple of people before making it inside and facing Mankar Cameron himself. This was kind of a rough fight. Despite killing his minions, they respawned a lot faster than I thought they did. So right when we'd get him down to only a few good hits left in his health bar, his lackeys would kill us. The disadvantages of not using greaves and a chestplate really reared its ugly head here. Even if we had just used heavy armor instead of light armor, this would be a whole hell of a lot easier. As usual though, and as I'm sure you've come to expect from me, the great Mancakes, I didn't plan ahead at all. Thankfully though, he goes down before too many attempts, meaning we have now regained the Amulet of Kings. Back at Martin's place, he puts on the amulet and confirms that he is of the dragon blood. And now it's time to relight the dragon fires and end the Oblivion crisis. As we spoke to Chancellor Okado, Mehrunes Dagon appeared. However, Martin has a plan, and after giving us a final goodbye and thanking us Golden Girls style, we get to witness the most hyped endgame scene of 2006, and say goodbye to our friend, simultaneously ending the Oblivion crisis as well. Meaning, we have successfully beaten the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion as a lore-accurate cat. This challenge was a lot of fun, and went by a lot faster than everything online said it would, thank God. I knew the sources online just sounded wrong. Anyway, if you liked the thumbnail, the art was actually drawn, this time, by a viewer just like you. You can find a link to their social of choice in the description. I've decided that when I'm having some artist block for my thumbnails, I'm gonna start holding art competitions in the Discord server, and use the one that I like most. So if that's something you'd be interested in, make sure you join the server. Remember, if you're feeling generous, use the link in the description to donate to the World Wildlife Fund. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because that's all I have for you today. So, as always, have a fantastic day.